Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for April 4th, 2020. From Exodus chapter 3, the Call of God. Most people consider this chapter of Exodus to be about Moses and the burning bush. But what is the most important thing? Is it the landscaping? Is it the burning bush? No, it's about God calling Moses to deliver his people who are in slavery in Egypt. The only purpose of the burning bush was to capture Moses' attention so that God could call Moses directly. After God speaks to Moses, God tells Moses to take off his sandals, for the ground that he is standing on is holy ground. Again, what makes the ground holy? Is it the particular sand that's there in the wilderness? No. It's God's presence that makes that particular ground holy. God explains why he is calling Moses in verses 7 and 8. Then the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt, and I have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land to a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Notice that God hears the cries of his people, and God comes down to deliver them. How is God going to do that? Through the person of Moses. Oh, by the way, Joseph told the people on his deathbed that God would surely visit them. And now, in God's appropriate time, that visit would take place. God would visit through the person of Moses. Moses at first is a little hesitant. Notice what he says in verse 11. But Moses says to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? Notice the lesson that Moses still needs to learn. Who's really bringing the people of Israel out of Egypt? Is it Moses? Who's really standing in front of Pharaoh? Is it Moses? No. Moses is God's tool and instrument. This is the almighty, all-powerful God who is going to stand before Pharaoh, who is going to lead the people Israel out of Egypt. Exodus chapter 3, verses 14 and 15. God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, Say to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, Say to the people of Israel, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and thus I will be remembered throughout all generations. Please notice who's doing the work. God is doing the work. God calling Moses, and God leading Moses to lead his people, God's people, out of slavery in Egypt. Moses had nothing to worry about. He would just have to listen and obey God. However, God did give him a little bit of a fair warning. This wasn't going to be quite that easy. Notice what God says in verse 19. But I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless compelled by a mighty hand. So I will stretch out my hand and strike Egypt with all the wonders I will do in it. After that, he will let you go. Notice again who's doing the work. God is doing the work. We need to remember that in our daily life, because our daily path may be like Moses, a little bit difficult, but God is with us. Through holy baptism, God has placed his name upon us. We are not alone. Remember, it's all about God's call and his name, not the landscaping. Join me again tomorrow as we hear about the signs of God. Thank you for watching, and please share this with others. God's peace and many blessings be with you. Like most churches during these difficult times, please consider a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again.